Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is November 23rd, and right now we're looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see the coastline largely absent of the marine layer, but over the last few loops, you can see some of that marine layer starting to emerge here, some spin in the atmosphere, a few eddies going on out there, and this will be deepening as we go through the day tomorrow, potentially bringing some precipitation across Southern California. We'll look at those details. We go through the video here this morning, and you can see that you've got some clouds coming across the Sierra Nevada and Nevada here as well. It's associated with that Arctic air that's moving down across the Rocky Mountains, and this is bringing some light precipitation with this. You can see some snow for the higher terrain across the Sierra Nevada, and better chances the further you go northeast into Nevada here. You can also see some of the fog in the valley area starting to burn off here as we go through the late morning hours across Northern California. Always fun to look at the GOES 18 satellite imagery. You can see Lake Tulare out there as well, still exists. Now, taking a look at the windy up, look at some of these winds coming down the coastline here, gusting out to 50 miles per hour. And some of this will start spreading across some of the northern valley down towards Sacramento as we go through the day today. And we've got some gusty winds to look at. And I'll show you what I mean here in a moment, and a potential Santa Ana wind event coming in through this weekend as well. And just a thanks out there to everybody who checks back daily on this channel. We're up to 13,000 subscribers. And again, channel is not possible without all of you. So thanks very much. Taking a look at the home weather station I've been pushing here for the last couple of months, and this thing is quite nice here. I like checking it out on the smartphone app. It's all solar powered and wireless, stores all the data for you on the cloud, and it's very accurate. I actually compare it to much more expensive weather station equipment, and it does hold its own. It's a very nice system there. So heads up if you want to buy one of those, click on that link down below. Chance of measurable precipitation Friday. Check it out. National Weather Service San Diego catching on here, and they are showing 35-40% chance for measurable precip across some of the foothill areas, trying to get into the Los Angeles metro here. You can see Anaheim at 16%, and right now not too big of a chance, at least showing according to the National Weather Service, for some of the Los Angeles metro here. But I'll show you what the NAM3 cam says on that here in a moment as well. This is looking at the NAM as far as wind speeds are concerned. And again, you can see the strong winds off the coastline here, and you can see we start to get some northeast winds across some of the Sierra Nevada. North winds start sweeping down across the valley areas here. There are some wind advisories out in this area for that activity, and you can see the gusty winds across Southern California down into Baja, especially across the higher terrain. Some decent north winds coming through Nevada across the California border as well. And then as we scroll on in through the weekend here, check it out. You can see the eddy spinning off the coastline here as we go through Friday into Saturday morning. And then we bring the offshore winds back to Southern California. Santa Ana wind event here. Not as strong as last time, but it could be fairly persistent, and it might last 2 or 3 days. Now, looking at the current hazards here, National Weather Service wind advisory there for some of the I-5 corridor, Sacramento, as these north winds start blowing down across the region. And we've got some freeze warnings, actually freeze watches here, that are in the light blue. And you can see that Arctic air mass associated with these winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings here across some of Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, and northeast Nevada. Now, looking at the composite reflectivity, here goes some of that shower activity. Again, better the further you go northeast across Nevada, but this could be spreading some snow across the higher terrain of the Sierra Nevada. Not too much here, maybe an inch or two for some areas, but you can also see that precipitation spinning around Southern California here as we go into tonight, into tomorrow morning. And some of this shows some of these showers getting up towards the Los Angeles metro a bit here as well. So it shouldn't amount to much, but you might get a tenth of an inch or two across some of Southern California with that activity. And then as we go through Saturday morning, the Santa Ana winds start back up and blow that way out to sea. Now, taking a look at the NAM3 cam, this is the precipitation total here, and some places showing up for 0.2 of an inch plus here, and maybe a little bit of light precip across some of Southern California as well. And you can see some of those showers here across some of the Sierra Nevada, and better amounts as you go towards northeast Nevada, out towards Idaho. Now, this is the European. Let's check out what it has to say at 2,500 feet. Strong north winds. You can see them sweeping down the valley areas there. Offshore flow across northeast California. And you'll see kind of that eddy action there, even at 2,500 feet across Southern California. And then we kick the Santa Ana winds here as we go into Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then finally relaxing by the time you get towards Tuesday afternoon. And again, not quite as strong as an event here. The last one was pretty robust, but it's going to bring some gusty winds, typical windy locations here for the Santa Ana winds as we go on through this weekend and into early next week. Now, here we are looking at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right. This is the GFS ensemble mean on the right versus the control on the European. So this is basically looking at the deterministic run. It's the initial conditions best we understand them. With the GFS ensemble mean, you're basically taking all of its 30 ensemble members. Each one of them have their initial conditions changed a little bit to account for any errors we may have in our forecast. and then we average out all 30 of those and we come up with this precipitation forecast. So let's go ahead and scroll ahead here, as it looks like we may be headed towards an active period as we go through early December. And you can see that last night's European run here shows some pretty good precipitation amounts all the way across the state of California. GFS mainly has central and northern California bullseye here, but it's been going back and forth a little bit here. So we still have a lot of details to work out, which is pretty typical when you're looking at almost 10 days in the forecast coming up here. So initially they should start moving in across northern California. But again, we'll be watching this day by day and break this down for you. Taking a look at yesterday's European control run, you can see the system swinging by, some light snow for the Sierra, some light precip for Southern California there. Then it moves out. We get Santa Ana winds for a few days. And then we start to bring some systems back in as we go towards the end of November here, initially hitting Northern California. And it's been showing some interesting systems at times with pretty good fetch of moisture at times as well. As you can see, this driving all the way down across Southern California. Some interesting precipitation amounts showing up here, but this is way off in fantasy land. We'll be watching these systems here and how they trend in the models over the next few days. Taking a look at the GFS, hot off the presses, the 12Z run. There goes the system sliding across some of the Sierra Nevada here, and you can see the Arctic front here associated east of the Rockies, but it is bringing some snow across Utah and Nevada there. You can see the light precip across Southern California. We get the high pressure across the Intermountain West. Santa Ana winds will be going on and through early next week, and then we start to turn our eyes to the Pacific Ocean here as we get a weak system trying to approach the coastline here. Eventually starts making it in sometime on the 30th or the 1st, right at the end of the month there, and then you can see it bringing some interesting snow here for the Sierra Nevada, maybe some precip through Southern California. But right now, this morning's GFS targeting the northern half of the state for now, but this will almost certainly be changing over the next few days as we are looking quite a ways off into the future. Look at this is in Northwest California here, basically Crescent City, and you can see some of these big amounts showing up in the control run and the ensemble runs here, but you can see there are still some with much less. As you can see, a nice 1, 2, 3 punch as we start on into early December. San Francisco, much more variability in the ensemble forecast. So you can see some very juicy systems and some don't have much at all. So yeah, we have several days to watch this. So just let's bide our time here and we'll kind of get a better forecast for you over the next couple of days. Los Angeles, you can see here, there are some pretty intense systems in here, but there's also some that don't show any at all. So we'll see how this trends. A 6 to 10 day precipitation probability outlook, and you can see right at the end of the month they start bringing the increased chances here to much of the state of California, and by the 8 to 14 day here much of the Southwest is included in that. You can kind of see the bullseye right there near the Bay Area and some of the northern coastline. But yeah, interesting stuff here. It does look like a more active pattern is setting up, but we just don't, we're looking too far out right now to start to look at any details too much anyway. So anyway, hope you guys are having a nice Thanksgiving out there. I'll do my briefing as normal tomorrow. We'll continue to watch that. We'll try to get some model agreement on the timing of those systems, but it does look like a more active pattern potentially setting up into early December. And some of the long-range models have been showing an abnormally wet December for much of the state of California here, but we'll dive into those details as we get a little bit closer to those events. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.